Protein is now at Starbucks, and it's never tasted so good. You can add protein cold foam to your favorite drink or try one of our new protein lattes or matcha. Try it today at Starbucks.
An all-new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Mom Talk has just been blowing up.
Whitney and Jen are on Dancing with the Stars.
Taylor is a bachelorette.
Saying that out loud is crazy. Like, that is huge.
But all the cool opportunities could pull us apart.
It's causing issues in everyone's marriage.
My whole world is falling apart right now. It's chaos.
Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Kayak gets my flight, hotel, and rental car right, so I can tune out travel advice that's just plain wrong.
Bro, Skycoin. Way better than points.
Never fly during a Scorpio full moon.
Just tell the manager you'll sue. Instant room upgrade.
Stop taking bad travel advice. Start comparing hundreds of sites with Kayak and get your trip right. Kayak. Got that right.
At the 2025 Razzie Awards, Ariana DeBose was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress for her role in Kraven the Hunter. This year, she's moved up in the world by being nominated for Worst Actress. Can't say she isn't persistent. Let's see if the Razzies are right or if Love Hurts is not that bad. Welcome one and all to It's Not That Bad, the podcast that looks for A grades in B movies. Hello to all of our listeners in Walsall, England and around the world. How the heck are you guys doing? All right, we are continuing our look this month at movies that got Razzie nominations this year, just not for worst film. We're talking about Love Hurts, and here to join me, my love who doesn't hurt, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
Aw, and you are my superhero.
I don't know how superhero came into this, but we'll take it. We will take it. It's all good.
Well, I will fight to sell you a house.
Most lethal real estate agent ever.
Right?
It feels weird to be talking about this film, though. Like, I know it had a low score amongst the critics over at Rotten Tomatoes. But I mean, we're talking about a film that has 2 Oscar winners and an Oscar nominee shortly after Ke Huy Quan's win at the Oscars. Like, when we talked about doing this film, when we actually sat down and to watch this, were you shocked that this was actually got any kind of nomination?
I got to admit, this movie wasn't on my radar. I had never actually, the release must have missed me by, I don't know, a flying bullet or a double flying machete sword. But you know what? I can't believe we're sitting here talking about this movie today.
Yeah,
it was that damn good.
It's fun, but there is a Razzie nomination for this film, which is why we're here. But we're going to get into this film. We're going to get into Love Hurts, but before we do, we need to take it and trailerize it.
The real estate business can be cutthroat and brutal, but that doesn't mean agents need to brutally cut throats. But for this one time, we'll make an exception. Enter Marvin, a super nice, super positive, and super successful agent at the top of his game and riding high on life. Which always means there's something super dodgy. But when an old flame turns up, he turns up the action in this rom-com foo flick that will make you wonder if every real estate agent is secretly a badass. Can Marvin find who he once was to save the girl he had a thing for? Or will he just settle for narrating self-motivational affirmations to anyone who will listen? Ke Huy Quan wears his heart on his sleeve and the whole damn sweater in Love Hurts. Rated R for the real Terminator.
You did. You dissed his heart sweater with his broken heart.
I totally dissed that sweater.
He wore his broken heart
on both sleeves, on his chest, and on his back. But let's get into who is in this movie. The movie stars Ke-Huy Quan, Ariana DeBose, Daniel Wu, former NFL great Marshawn Lynch, Andre Erickson, Mustafa Shakir, Leo Tipton, Cam Gigandet, Reese Darby, Drew Scott, and Sean Astin. The movie is directed by Jonathan Eusebio. Now, this is actually his first ever film as a director. He was a second unit director on a number of films, but also he did stunt work for the movies like John Wick, Deadpool 2, The Wolverine, and yes, the greatest martial arts film ever, Kung Pao Enter the Fist. And so many more. Like, he's got quite the stunt work filmography. So if there's any wonder why the fight scenes are so freaking good in this movie, he's part of the reason. The film had a budget of $18 million. Domestically, it only made 15.6 and worldwide 17.5 when it was released. On the February 7th, 2025 weekend, debuted at number 3 with $5.8 million. The highest grossing debut was Heart Eyes with $8 million. And the highest grossing film was the second week of Dogman with $13.8 million. And part of the reason why we are here talking about this film is because at the 2026 Razzies, Ariana DeBose is nominated for Worst Actress. Now, we have to talk about this nomination because she's in with some high caliber quality actresses, and yet for some reason she's in the Razzies nomination. So before we even get to the rest of the film, and of course our tomatometers and our aggravated aggregates and all the stuff that we do like that, I'm going to ask you, all right, let me give you the list of actresses nominated for Worst Actress. Ariana DeBose for this film. Mila Jovovich for In the Lost Lands. And remember, listeners, we talked about that last week. Natalie Portman for Fountain of Youth, Rebel Wilson for Brightheart, and Michelle Yeoh for Star Trek Section 31. Now, when we are recording this, it is before the Razzies are announced. So we don't know at the time of recording if she wins or not. When this episode releases, we'll all know. But Carrie, I'm going to put you in the hot seat here. Does Ariana DeBose win this category?
I hope not. I don't think so. You know what? I don't want to throw shade at any of the actresses, and I really wish that everyone would just leave Michelle Yeoh alone, because I really liked her performance in Star Trek. But I digress. I've already stood up for her in our grading episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? She did an excellent performance. Damn, she was fun. And she was playing alongside a lot of really larger than life characters. And each one of the actors we're going to talk about in today's show, the entire movie was just so completely unhinged, so off the wall. Like, you've got, 3 conflicting gangs of baddies, all with their own unique and just, again, like, over the top, overplayed, but they're having fun in their role. They are just literally like sponges that are soaking it all in and having a great time. And I thought she was too. And I did not dislike her performance. I don't know. I don't think she wins.
All right. Well, be curious to see who does win that and every other category. But the main reason why we are here are the critics. Over at Rotten Tomatoes, this film has a tomatometer of 18%, with a popcorn meter of 60%.
Whoa.
I know, it's a bit of a swing, right?
18%?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
At IMDb has a 5.3 stars out of 10 rating for 53%. Metacritic, Metascore of 34. Letterboxd, 2.1 stars out of 5 for a 42% score. And at the Movie Database, 57%. giving this film an aggravated aggregate of 44%. Now, the aggravated aggregate feels a little low because that 18% is pulling it down, but you have a range from 18 to 60. Is that the range for this film?
Well, I liked it, but I would also classify it as a very Carrie movie.
Mm-hmm.
And more on that later, I'm sure. But it checked all the boxes of just stupefun.
I love that word.
It was. Thank you.
I feel you need to trademark that word, stupefun.
Okay.
Put it on a shirt.
There we go.
It's stupefun.
It was stupefun. Like, you know what? Like I said, it was, you've got like some of the dumbest criminals and, wannabe gangster bad guys who basically has his like gang of croonies to all, get killed before he's like the final boss man, right?
It does play a little bit like a video game, doesn't it?
Oh, the bar fight scene. Oh my God, the jukebox. Just the jukebox kill alone, was 10 points.
For Gryffindor?
the comically large like fork and spoon that they used as fight weapons, the metal straw that was a classic go-to death weapon.
See, this is why I now advocate for paper straws, so that way I'm not going to die at the food court.
The instruments of death.
When you want your spring break to feel like and your kids' pool day to feel like and your hotel bed to feel like and room service to feel like, because at Hilton, hospitality feels like
your cabana's ready. Would you like fresh towels?
It matters where you stay. Book now at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Introducing Vertuo Up, the latest in a long line of innovation from Nespresso. It's innovation you can touch, sense, and taste in every single cup. With a 3-second start, easy open lever, and dedicated brew over ice button, it's even easier to enjoy your coffee your way. Sip for yourself. Shop Vertuo Up exclusively at Nespresso.com.
All right, well, let's get into the breakdown of this movie. We start with Ke-Huy Quan, who plays Marvin Gable. Your thoughts on him?
Yes. I loved like his darkness. I loved that he was trying to like create this really positive facade of a life, of a persona after, basically like trying to turn his life around, and with the help of Sean Astin, his real estate boss, and he rises to the top of his game. He's the top agent, top seller. Just super positive. Oh my God, I loved every moment that he was on the scene, on the screen, because he was just soaking it in.
Can we just take a pause for a moment here, right? Because the last couple of years has almost been the redemption arc for almost everyone from Encino Man. Of course, Brendan Fraser got all his flowers for the movie The Whale. Ke-Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sean Astin has been getting his flowers lately. It is funny to take a look back at some of these films and go, wow, everyone is getting their hat tips, except for Pauly Shore. We're not hat tipping Pauly Shore in this. But I mean, it's great to see the resurrection of Ke-Huy Quan's acting career. His story is absolutely fantastic. He's a joy to watch on screen every single time. And he really is almost like the template for a movie like this. But I have problems with how the character is written a little bit.
Oh?
Now, remember, this is from a writing perspective. I freaking love Ki Hee Kwan in this. No one else can play this role. Period. Saying it right there. But part of the problem is that, and again, spoilers like a mofo. We're about to get into this here. So Marvin rescues Rose, basically takes on the job to bury her out in the quarry kind of thing. And he basically uses that time to free her, to basically tell her to run and hide and go incognito kind of thing, because he loves her. He never tells her that he loves her. He never is open about that. Yet he pines for her in his, isolation, in this new life that he's come. By the way, if you're trying to hide away from your mobster brother, somehow I don't think becoming a real estate agent with your picture plastered over the entire town is the way to go.
Okay, but he shaved his mustache.
What is this, Superman? Pair of glasses. Hey, I'm Clark Kent. I'm Superman. I'm Clark Kent. I'm Superman. You can't tell the difference. Really? No. And also, everything feels like the same town. So why would you be a real estate agent with your picture plastered everywhere in the same town as your mobster brother?
No, he wasn't. He moved to Emerald City,
which feels like a suburb of whatever the town is.
Well, I guess, yeah, because his brother didn't have to travel that far to get to him.
No, everything happens in a short amount of time. So this Emerald City, whatever kind of thing, is clearly like the newly built suburb.
Now, hold on. That bar that the fight scene took place, that Rose was the bartender previously,
mm-hmm.
that had to have been, you're right, in the same town, because...
Yeah, exactly, because he wouldn't have been knocked out that long. Heck no. Like, Marvin's ability to stay under the radar is lacking at best. It really is. And then also, he has this unrequited love for Rose, yet we never really see him pining for her. It's just like, I always knew she would come back. Really? Why? I don't know. Let's see some longing. Let's see some kind of, and I don't mean to ask movies for an exposition dump, but in this case, I wouldn't mind it. Like, let's see Marvin kind of holding on to her.
No,
right?
But I think it was enough when they both had that moment of dialogue where they're kind of narrating their own emotions and their own thoughts.
Yeah, but okay. So the movie starts with her getting off a bus and drawing a mustache on his picture, which, again, he's very clearly easy to find. And then we've got like this voiceover narration from Marvin. That kind of like, I always knew she would come back. Like, okay, but she's drawing mustaches on your face. Like, I know it feels like too much action and too little character connection development. I wanted more of the Marvin Rose story. I wanted that to feel like something, right? Like, he saved this girl, set her free, and then goes into supposed hiding, but yet never told her. And meanwhile, he's trying to bring up his assistant out of her, depression stupor kind of thing. It felt like it glossed over the emotional raison d'etre for the character of Marvin.
And since we talk about the assistant, how quickly she fell in love with the deep
with
writer,
the Raven,
the poet.
Okay, since you're mentioning her, Leo Tipton, who played Ashley, your thoughts?
I liked her. Damn, she was, I mean, in one scene, she's like, oh, it's over. I quit, and then she's like basically defending the two men in her life, her boss and her newfound love, at the final battle. And things happen quickly in this Emerald City.
So, first off, I love the idea of the character of Ashley paired up against Marvin, because she is a Debbie Downer, right? Marvin is very much a full positive, life is great, everything's going well. Like, he's narrating like positive affirmations through the whole thing. And Ashley is not.
They need each other.
They do. I love this connection, and it makes sense given her demeanor why she would connect with the poetry of the Raven. Is it weird though that I wanted to spend a little bit more time with Ashley and the Raven, and I wanted her to be a bit more prominent because this B plot is actually kind of fun?
I think they showed just enough. I mean, their love for each other kind of escalated quickly. It was like, okay, they literally just meet. She finds him. Actually, they didn't quite meet. She finds him laying on a smashed up office after a pretty good fight with her boss. So,
of which she didn't know. Also, how does no one hear that fight?
Yeah. Oh no, it was an intense yoga session.
Yeah, quote unquote intense yoga session, which, you do yoga on a regular basis.
I thought that was hilarious.
Are you going to yoga classes or a fight club?
Well, what happens at yoga stays at yoga.
Damn. But is it? I almost wanted the character of Ashley to be a little bit funnier. Like, that's the one thing I'm thinking is kind of missing from this film, is that when you watch the trailer, and I'm going to get to this trailer in a little bit, but when you watch the trailer, it seems like a really fun film, but it's much more of an action film than it is kind of a rom-com. Ashley's the kind of character I wanted to play by like Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings would have been fantastic, but then again, I almost don't want it to be someone as prominent and loud as Kat Dennings can be, because then it kind of takes away from the Ke Huy Quan storyline. I like this plot. I like this character, this subplot. I just don't know if I wanted more of it, and I think I wanted more funny out of it. Especially when you're pairing her up against Mustafa Shakir as the Raven. Your thoughts on him?
Oh, I recognized him from, was he on Bullet Train?
No. You will recognize him as Jet Black from the Cowboy Bebop series on Netflix.
Oh, that's it. I'm like, I know that I've seen him somewhere, but I was trying to place him.
And I freaking love that Cowboy Bebop series. Netflix, can we talk for a second here? We're going to talk about Mustafa Shakir in a second. Netflix. Let's have a talk, shall we? Only one season of Cowboy Bebop live action is not enough. We need more. So get off your budget and start making and approving another season of Cowboy Bebop. We need it, because that was so perfect. But anyways, Mustafa Shakir for you.
Yes. just yes. And I mean, like, everything from just the hidden. No, he would not pass a metal detector.
Nope.
No. The boot machetes, the like, I don't know.
Which of course are shaped like raven wings.
Yeah.
Right?
Would not want to give him a hug though. He kind of seems like he's got strategically placed metal everywhere.
Yeah, when the band Beyond the Black starts singing about their ravens, this is not the raven they're singing about.
No, but he was a deep poet. He was a writer.
He was, but again, I think that's why I really wanted kind of more of the Ashley and Raven storyline, Roger afterwards, because he can play such a straight comedic role, right? I almost want more of their dialogue together, like just two really tortured souls, one trying to find life and one trying to cause death. Like it's a fascinating, the two of them play off each other really well. And yeah, Mustafa Shakir was a ton of fun in this, because of course he can pull off a fight scene as well. Like everyone's pulling off a really good fight scene here. I liked it. I liked the B plot.
I loved how incredibly creepy he was in the final fight scene. Like he was just kind of like Ashley went to deal with the the home buyers.
Right.
I hope they didn't sign the contract because they shot up that house pretty good.
Okay. I'm going to put this out there now because we're going to talk about the ending eventually. But I wish we had one more scene. And you could play it during the credits. That would have been fine. I wanted one more scene with Ashley and the Raven buying a home from Marvin.
Aw.
I just wanted that one scene. Like that, because that would have been a perfect bow on everything. But that's just me.
Yeah, I could see that. I was waiting for the homeowners or the couple, the potential buyers to come out and see what damage was done after. They didn't. They just did they stay locked in the laundry room? Because he never went back for them.
No. Maybe they're still there to this day.
They were advised to stay there until he came back for them, and he never went back.
I mean, if you went to buy a house and you got caught up in like a gun and knife fight, I wouldn't come out of that laundry room for about 7 days.
At least she was in love with the washer dryer combo.
Well, if you're going to be stuck in a laundry room, you got to be stuck in there with like the high quality gear. Ariana DeBose, who played Rose and Razzie nominee for Worst Actress of the Year. Your thoughts?
Okay, how many times did you count? How many times in the movie they referenced or gave a nod to the Stranger Things Dustin? Like, it was a thing. It was a thing. Rose did it several times, and then she actually growled at one point, which I thought was a bit odd. But Ashley did it too.
Okay, let's talk about Rose for a second here because I have thoughts.
Okay, but be kind.
Okay, for the most part, my thoughts are on the writing of the character. So hear me out. She's a lawyer for Knuckles, right? Now, I understand that if you work for some kind of crime boss, I'm sure you could be able to take care of yourself, but she's a freaking lawyer, not a lean, mean fighting machine. And yet here she is, clearly taking care of herself. Also, if she could take care of herself, why did Marvin feel like he needed to protect her? And this bugged me. This is Marvin's story. The movie opens with Marvin's narration. So why are we getting Rose's internal dialogue as well?
Because she loves him.
But I get that, but I don't want to hear her internal thoughts.
Don't you want to hear her side of it?
I want to hear her side of it out loud. I don't want a second narrator. The second narrator takes away any of the guesswork of Rose's feelings towards Marvin. It's like, here, just in case we weren't being obvious enough, we're going to go inside her head. Meh. That's just bad writing.
I thought it was a sweet scene because it traded off from her thoughts to his, and, because of the positioning of that scene, it was like they were both thinking of each other at the same time.
But the narration is used so little for Marvin and then even littler for Rose. It's almost like you take away those Rose narration scenes and have it to be Marvin's narration scenes as to his guessing of Rose's feelings. Like, there should only ever be one narrator of a film. One central character whose inner thoughts we can hear. Because if we know everyone's intentions and we know everyone's, the method to their madness, the reason why they're doing things, then there's no subtlety whatsoever to the film. Plus, this is the second time in a row that Ariana DeBose has played a lawyer who also happens to be able to kick some serious ass for reasons.
See, I missed that. I thought she was a bartender.
No, she's a lawyer. She was also a bartender, which helped her set up the deal that settled the end. But by being a lawyer, that at least gives her the information and to be able to trace all the money and be able to point them to, the rival Russian gang. But in Kraven the Hunter, she was also some kind of lawyer, fixer, whatever kind of thing. Never fully explained. And then by the end of the movie, she's like shooting crossbows and the whole works. I was like, really? Where did she learn that?
Well,
when?
A girl's got to have a hobby. She went to the school of Hawkeye.
Apparently so. I guess the other thing too is that you have her playing kind of like on the edge of crazy.
Oh, but it was fun. It was fun. She did it so well. She was like just loving. You could tell she was having fun with it.
Right, but the problem is the movie wasn't having fun with her. The movie was leaning more into the action part of this as opposed to the comedic part of this.
No, but her facial expressions, like the humor that she brought to her lines was fun. She was a fun and in charge character, and I liked that.
I felt she was out of tone with the rest of the film. It's almost like she was trying to bring it up to 11 while everyone was trying to drive down the straight and narrow lane.
Oh no, I thought everyone was nuts. I mean, really, you've got like I said, almost like the 3 different groups of baddies. And, here's this, I'm going to call it this woman who's in charge, and damn, can she kick ass. Like, no wonder he loved Rose. Rose was awesome.
I know, but and again, we're also not getting, I would rather they had dealt with that more in dialogue rather than inner monologue. But again, this is where I could see why some of those ratings went down from the critics. But I mean, I didn't hate her in it. I just don't like the way Rose was written and the way that we knew what she was thinking. Like movie, don't tell us everything. Let us discover things.
Okay, but the lines of dialogue where she's holding her own against, like the crime boss, if you will, or Martin's brother.
Okay, but also she's stirring up some here.
Yeah.
But why?
Because she can. Well, also because she was kind of defending herself because she stole from him. So technically she had to die. She knew the rules. That was the rule.
No. She was set up. It was Rennie that stole things, with the help of Kippy. And then they got all the money. They framed her for it. Her plan to get back at everyone seems at a Baron Zemo level of you have to have a lot of things happen in order for everything to work out. Daniel Wu, who played Knuckles, Marvin's brother, your thoughts?
He might have a slight bubble drink.
Yeah, gotta
addiction.
have his boba.
His boba, yeah. Again, I felt he was kind of a mediocre crime boss or very he'll sit in the office and wait until the last crony is dead.
Yeah, like what the hell is up with that?
I mean, he could fight though.
The boba's there's the problem too, right? He can fight.
But he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. That's the position of the crime boss.
Yeah, but also, who kills someone with a straw?
Well, he does.
Yeah, it just seemed a little like, okay, having your bad guy have a specific food fetish, if you will, or food craving, it's a little on the cliche side. I will give him credit. There's the scene where he's sitting down with Cliff. This is Marvin's real estate mentor, and they're having a tete-a-tete kind of thing. And there's a whole lot of exposition being dumped there. That scene is fantastic for him. But otherwise, Knuckles is not really that menacing unless he's got his boba. All right, going to pair these two together. Andre Erickson and Marshawn Lynch as Otis and King. These are the 2 hitmen that are being tasked to take care of Marvin. Your thoughts on them?
My God. I loved the side story of the wife that, left one of them. Which one is which? Which one's King?
King is Marshawn Lynch. He's the guy with the dreads.
Okay, so the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like a Jules and Vince kind of pairing from Pulp Fiction. The scene where, King's kind of, coaxing Otis through the phone call and trying to get him to be real, kind of, or maybe it's more like a Vince Vaughn and The Rock kind of thing from Be Cool.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Dabu. He's Dabu.
Oh my God, you're comparing Marshawn Lynch, NFL great Marshawn Lynch, to Andre 3000.
No. No, but Be Cool was an awesome movie.
Be Cool. Yeah, we've talked about that film.
And the matchup, though, because, I mean, they were just like, I don't want to say Dumb and Dumber, but they were definitely like, not a full Criminal Mind.
No, but I mean,
between the two of them.
I again, this was probably the best comedic part of the film, is the two of them kind of almost coaching each other through life while they're doing these hits.
I love that. Emotionally constipated.
Right? Like, they are surprising. Also, I did not realize that Marshawn Lynch was also an actor. I mean, I've seen many of his games. I did not realize he had the acting bug, but yet here we are. I like this pairing. Yes, the pairing, the idea of the pairing is a little on the cliche side, but I like these two together. And, the scenes of them together, I got a kick out of it. Rhys Darby, who plays Kippy, this is the New Zealander that that Rose and Marvin capture in order to be able to kind of get the dirt as to where the rest of the money is. Your thoughts on him?
As much as I liked him, he was just such an oddball character. I literally watched this movie twice. I watched it through and then I watched it again. And both times I'm like, where, like, he just kind of appears.
Yeah.
And then he, sings like a canary and then goes away.
Real easy sings like a canary.
Like
she's tormenting him with a with a taser, right? Which we all know, yeah, he's probably going to poop himself if he gets tased too much. But I mean, it's a taser. You're going to survive. But this was a perfect opportunity for Marvin to kind of lean into the old side of himself, right? In order to be able to pressure, to force Kippy to spill the beans. Because you're right, he did. He sang like an absolute canary. There was no torture whatsoever. But the thing is, if Marvin leans into his older self in order to be able to help Rose, that just goes to show how much he cares for Rose, because he's going back to a persona that he tried to abandon. Again, more dialogue, less fighty. And then you got Cam Gigande, who was Rennie Merlot. This is the guy who did set up Rose. Is it me, though? Or did we really barely get to know this guy?
Well, not only that, but he had 2 death scenes. I mean, he died twice. Like, we saw him get shot, and then miraculously he rises again, only to get shot again before he can shoot back at Rose.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that this is the main guy that set up Rose. This is the end game for her, is to get him back. Maybe spend a little bit of time developing this character, because we spend so little time with him. I don't give a damn when he dies.
And that's the thing, because I truly understood the motives and the mindset of Martin's brother.
Mm-hmm.
I could get behind that.
Yes.
And even, the 2, like, let's call them comic relief, baddies, right? And then there's the Raven.
Mm-hmm. Who's just all kinds of fun on his own.
And then there's this guy, and I'm like, honestly, I was confused. I was like, why are there so many different criminals coming after them? Like, they couldn't have pissed off this many people. But yeah, I found it was almost like they tried to do too much. And you're right. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
You're right that if they had flushed out 1 or 2 of the plot lines, the A and B plot a little bit more and didn't focus on the C and the D. Like, maybe a little bit less is more in this case.
Yeah. Drew Scott, who played Jeff Zaks, this is the rival real estate agent, which is even funnier because he's one of the property brothers. Your thoughts?
Yes. Oh my God. I am so glad you mentioned him because he wasn't around for a long time, but a good time.
Yep.
Like his scene where, he actually sees it going down. He sees the two guys with their guns and they're heading through the back door and he's ready for a fight. Like he's like rolling up his sleeves of his suit.
Remember, he's a black belt.
And he's a black belt and he's gonna, I love it. He's like coaching Martin. He's like, you go low, I'll go high. And he jumps up and gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like,
spoilers. That's the end of his game.
Right. I mean, but that's the thing. He's a quick gag. His mere presence itself is the gag because if you know, you know. Here you've got Drew Scott, a property brother, and it's hilarious that he's there. He's the rival agent, and then he's not.
I'm so glad you mentioned him. I was afraid it was just such a bit part that you would kind of gloss it over. But it was good.
It was very good.
So good.
And then we have Sean Astin, who plays Cliff Cussick. This is the mentor real estate agent for Marvin, which means we have an Encino Man and a Goonies reunion in this film. Your thoughts on Sean Astin?
Oh, can I truly say what I'm thinking?
You may.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
What was more tragic? His end in this movie or in Stranger Things?
You know what?
Because I don't know. This one was hard to watch and I watched it twice and I was like, oh, come on. He's such a nice guy and he's really trying to, I don't know, in his way, like, I guess mend the clear break between the brothers. And
that's the thing. Like I fully commend Sean Astin for going out like a boss as Bob the hero in Stranger Things. But again, we already kind of talked about that scene with Knuckles and Cliff, and they're having this conversation, and it's a tense but civil conversation. Like it's menacing in how civil it is, of course, until Knuckles stabs him with the straw, which whatever.
But he was so knowing. He's like, you know what? I know that there's not a thing I'm going to say to get out of this. So hand me that drink.
Yeah.
And, he like, I think the fact that he knew it was the end and there's nothing he could do about it made it even more tragic. Oh my God.
Like when we meet Sean Astin in this film first, and you hear that accent, you're like, oh, we're going down this road. Okay, this should be bad. This should be bad. And then we get to that scene and I'm like, no, I'm in. I'm all in. Like Sean Astin in that one scene sold me on everything that this character meant. Cliff is the exposition dump for the Marvin that we need. Absolutely. And you're right. It's a little heartbreaking, which is kind of weird in I guess what's supposed to be a rom-com, but rom-com foo, a little less on the com. And yeah, it's almost like it was leaning into drama territory with this scene.
Well, this was the most tragic, I think, because, he introduced himself as like his brother, like, like there was a definite connection there. And, he saw that Marvin was coming from a dark place and trying to turn his life around. And he was supporting that and encouraging that. And they had that brothership. And he was definitely a far better brother, than
Knuckles. Yeah.
Knuckles. Thank you. The wannabe gangster mafia king.
But I mean, like
Kingpin.
That death scene alone explains why Marvin was doing everything to save that little plaque that he got, right? It meant so much to him that he was succeeding in this new life. And that scene sold everything
And
about Marvin.
The hug. Oh, we're hugging now. We're hugging.
But that's the thing. Like this film, it does have a lot of heart, not just on the sweater, but it's, and I'm going to put it this way, right? There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of action. Did you want this film to be funnier?
I found it quite funny. I did find it quite funny. I enjoyed the humor. I enjoyed the writing and the delivery of the lines. I mean, there was a lot of, and I'm not even sure if of course it was intentional, but it was almost like the unintentional, trying to think of a good example. The scream, right? And, of course, Marvin is thinking he found found the man that was tied to the chair. Or even better, when the husband's sitting in the chair and he's like, the handles feel a little sticky. Because of course there's duct tape on it. I really enjoyed this movie. I do not agree that it's a 16%. I really enjoyed this assignment. And I would watch it again. It's again a very Carrie movie. Kind of has all of the elements of like the stupefun.
Mm-hmm. All right, so little inside baseball here. Before we sat down to watch this film and get our notes together and record this show, neither of us had seen this film. And Carrie looks at me and it's like, "What am I getting into?" And so I show her the trailer. And she's like, okay, this seems like fun now, because she thought it was gonna be like some weird, deep sappy romance kind of film with the name like Love Hurts and all that. And she watched the trailer and we're okay, right? But is it me? You watch the trailer, then you watch the film and you realize they basically give you the whole goddamn movie in the trailer.
I disagree. No, I disagree. There is so much more to this movie. And like I said, maybe a little bit too much of so much more. But you have to watch the movie. And like I said, or maybe it was just me, I had to watch it twice to really kind of get the who's who and how it all goes together. Yeah, I mean, I think the A plot was spoiled a little bit. The B and C plots, the Ashley and Raven plot line is not touched upon in the trailer at all. The Otis and King dynamic, that's not really touched upon a little bit. And then you kill off Sean Astin. The trailer gave a good impression that it was going to be a funny movie, kind of along the lines of something like Jackpot. But in the end, you're getting a good action film with some comedy. I'm not going to say it's not funny at all, but it was sold as being funnier than I think it ended up being. But you know what I love, though? It's still, even though it had the deeper storyline, it wasn't like Heads of State where the trailer made it look like it would be a funny movie. Mm-hmm. And then you're watching it and you're like, okay, all the funny scenes were in the trailer, but the movie drags on. Yeah. There was no dragging in this movie. There are scenes, though. There are times in this movie where I'm just like, okay, where are we going with this scene and this scene and this scene kind of thing? I found Heads of State to be a little bit more point A to point B as opposed to this film. But you're right. This film is funnier than Heads of State turned out to be. I'll give you that. Ooh, also a disclaimer, not a knock on Sir Idris Elba. He's been knighted. Or John Cena. Well, yeah, of course. Right. But we're talking about this film. And it's come to that time to the show that we talk about our MVP. So, Carrie, who's your MVP of Love Hurts? With a oversized Stetson hat, Sean Astin. See, I liked him in this. I really did. I just don't think he's in it long enough to be my MVP. I was really enjoying Mustafa Shakir in this as the Raven, but it's Ke Huy Quan. Of course it's Ke Huy Quan. No, you're right. And I knew you would pick him. So. Right. I mean, this film is very much in the vein of what Jackie Chan would do, and Ke Huy Quan looks to kind of carry that torch as well.
And he's fantastic in it. I love the fact that he's getting lead roles now, as well he should, because he is a bit of a gem of a human being. And yeah, this movie gives you everything the Ke Huy Quan can do and more. I just hope that there are more films for him to lead with better scripts. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And dear listeners, you know the drill. If there's a movie out there that you think is unfairly maligned or is so bad that there is no way in a really small town with a really obvious real estate agent that we can find anything good to say about it, hit us up on social media at NotThatBadCast or go to our website, NotThatBadCast.com. And while you're there, make sure you check out our music show, There Could Only Be One. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is It's Not That Bad, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a professional measure at no cost. Rules and restrictions apply.